Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike with Tyron. I normally try to stay away from gear reviews because I don't want to take a stance on that. I prefer to remain agnostic. But since a few people asked for this, today I'm going to be doing a video on the wear that's occurring with Duotone Click Bars, particularly on the safety line. Show you guys what to look for, some possible fixes, how to maintain them and keep them safe. Because I know not everyone can just go out and buy a new bar every now and then. So yeah, we're going to run over that today. If you like the video, you know what to do. Take a couple seconds, launch and land somebody else's kite, spread the stoke on the water, do what you can to be a good kiter. All right, and here we go. So here we have two Duotone Click Bars. This is a 2021, that's a 2020. That bar is 7 months old, maybe 8 months old now. This bar is 2.5 months old. I'm gonna walk you through some of the things that you can do as soon as you get your click bar if it starts behaving kind of badly. And then we're gonna look at the safety line itself. And so we're going to talk about some remedial maintenance that you can do to keep these things in good shape, and then also some of the fixes that we found to stop that wear on the safety line. So anyone who owns a click bar should be familiar with what I'm showing you right now. This is right above your quick release. It's always a good idea to flush this and clean this whenever you can. It doesn't really matter what chicken loop you have on here. As you can see, I've got two different ones on my bars. But one of the things that you'll see when you first get a click bar is sometimes you'll get some rub right here where this rotates, right? And it will cause this to seize up. So if you want to stop that, they send a tool in your package with you, like a little Allen wrench here. You can get that tool in there and you can loosen this a little bit. So you can throw that in there and you can loosen that just a little bit to make sure that this is rotating the way it should be. And I've just noticed that a couple of these can come a little tight, so you might want to take a look at that first. And then if you're still experiencing problems, you know, there's a couple other fixes from there. As far as taking this whole thing apart and checking it out, that's not something I'm going to cover today because it's a lengthy process. But that is just one of the quick fixes you can do to make this thing spin the way it's intended, right? That and keeping this clean are going to be your two best friends. So now we're going to talk about the wear to the actual safety line. And this is something I think it's really important to check for, because depending on how you're kiting, you might never see this if you're not checking your equipment regularly, which you should be doing, but I understand not everybody can do, right? So if you look at your safety line from here, it looks fine. When you look at it past the other end of that rubber section here, it will look fine. Where you find the issue most of the time with these is going to be if you pull it out, and right there you can see where this bar's fraying. Again, this bar is 2 months old. So this bar is fraying right there. If you're not paying attention to this and watching it to do maintenance on it, you would never see this. And I've had a couple friends now with bars that are that iteration over there where this snaps and they didn't know where it snapped. But when we're looking at this in our kind of after action assessment of the gear failure, we're finding that they snapped mostly right here. So again, this is gonna sit right where this bevel is. So loosening the bevel seems to help this wear a little bit because that bar's bevel is a little looser than this one's bevel. That said, I don't know how much that's allowing other kind of foreign objects to get in there. So that'd be an interesting experiment to conduct, which I haven't done yet. Taking these off and cleaning them on a regular basis is a little bit too much of a pain in the ass to be considered regular maintenance, if I'm being honest. So, you know, I think it's something to definitely be mindful of. Keep an eye on your safety line. Make sure it doesn't look like this because you don't want it to snap, particularly when you're out in like heavy surf or something. And if you need to, replace regularly until there's a fix that comes out. Now I'm going to go over to the 2020 Duotone Click Bar and talk to you about some of the same things there. Okay, so we talked about the 2021. Now we're going to come over to the 2020. Again, as we're just looking at the bar, if you're giving it a once over, you're not going to see that wear and tear that we're discussing. But if I pull this out and I bring this up, same wear and tear on the safety line. So you can kind of see that, I hope, how it's kind of fraying right here. You got some of these pieces coming off. Some of these pieces are looking pretty chewed through. And if you line this up right here next to the bar, you can see that it's being chewed through in the same place. So right here. So this one lasted a little bit longer because I had the bevel loose. Maybe that's allowing it to flush is all I can think. You know, to cover the pieces that people have discussed about the wear and tear being on the end here, I actually did a little bit more assessment. Check these out on both bars. I'm not seeing significant wear and tear here where the plastic piece meets the safety line on either the 2020 or the 2021. Your mileage may vary. As always, guys, check your gear, be safe. All right, guys, that's going to conclude my TED Talk on the 2020 and 2021 Duotone Click Bar. Again, I'm not out here to put forth indictment to gear. I think all kite companies, you know, they're passionate about what they do. They put out good stuff. Sometimes gear has flaws. and we do our best to fix that. And while they're fixing it, you know, we can do our best to manage it and stay safe on the back end. If you guys have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to check stuff out, run a couple tests since I do have 2 bars, and see what works. If you have comments or anything else, or you have suggestions, please let me know as well, because we're all kind of in this together. So in the meantime, stay stoked, be kind, and thanks.